There is a reason why you feel like you're dying, even though your vital signs are perfect. There is a reason why the pain of ending a relationship with a narcissist feels nothing like any other breakup you've ever experienced. People around you say, "It'll pass," "You deserve better," or "Time heals all wounds." But those phrases ring hollow, almost insulting, because they are talking about a scratch while you are dealing with an amputation without anesthesia. You wake up with a weight on your chest that prevents you from taking a deep breath. Even before you open your eyes, your mind is already in a frantic race, trying to decipher what happened, where you went wrong, why he did what he did. It isn't just sadness, it is physical agony, a violent withdrawal, a sensation that reality is unraveling at the edges. If you are feeling this gut-wrenching pain, a mix of longing, hatred, confusion, and deep despair, I need you to stop everything and pay attention. What you are feeling is not weakness. It is not loving too much. It is the calculated result of severe psychological manipulation that has altered your brain chemistry. In this video, we are going to go into the depths of this pain. I'm not going to tell you to think positive. We are going to understand the anatomy of this suffering so that you understand, once and for all, that this pain is not the end of your life. It is, in fact, the brutal sign that you are surviving something that was designed to destroy you. My name is Lauren Mitchell. My purpose with this channel is to show you that the problem was never you, and more importantly, that you are not alone. Let's be brutally honest about what is happening to you right now. The world sees a woman who ended a relationship. Maybe they see you a bit thinner, with dark circles under your eyes, maybe a bit distracted at work. But what they see is just the surface. Inside, it's a nuclear wasteland. The pain of a narcissistic relationship has a very specific texture. It is cyclic and obsessive. One moment, you feel a volcanic rage, an absolute clarity that he was a monster, that you were used and discarded like an object that lost its utility. You mentally list all the lies, the betrayals, the gaslighting. You feel strong, determined. But then, minutes later, something shifts. A song plays, or you see a notification on your phone, or simply the silence of the night falls, and that certainty collapses. Suddenly, you are flooded with memories of the love bombing. You remember how he looked at you in the beginning, how he seemed to be the only person in the universe who truly understood you, and that cruel doubt sets in. What if I overreacted? What if it was my fault? What if he changes for the next person? This constant oscillation between the reality of the abuse and the fantasy of the idealized love is what makes this pain so exhausting. You get no rest. Sleep isn't restorative, because your dreams often bring him back, sometimes as the prince, sometimes as the executioner. And then there is the isolation. Even if you have friends, you feel like no one understands the gravity of the situation. You try to explain the nuances of the subtle manipulations, the silent treatments, the passive-aggressive jabs, but when you say them out loud, they sound trivial. He didn't speak to me for 3 days. Sounds childish to someone listening, but to you, who lived under his thumb, you know those 3 days were calculated psychological torture designed to make you crawl. You feel crazy. That is the word I hear most. I feel like I'm going crazy. The pain is accompanied by deep shame. Shame for still suffering over someone who treated you so poorly. Shame for allowing it for so long. Shame that deep down, you still want him to knock on your door and tell you it was all a big misunderstanding. This mixture of physical pain, mental obsession, and moral shame creates a state of paralysis. You want to move forward. You want to leave this behind. But it feels like you're stuck in quicksand. The more you struggle to get out, the deeper you sink into the pain. And this is exactly where we need to start decoding. Because this quicksand isn't accidental. It was built. To understand why this pain is unbearable, and why you can't simply move on, we need to look at biology, not just psychology. What you are experiencing isn't just a broken heart. It is a severe chemical withdrawal syndrome. During the relationship with the narcissist, you were subjected to a vicious cycle of rewards and punishments, known as intermittent reinforcement. Think of a slot machine. If you pulled the lever and never won anything, you'd stop playing in 5 minutes. If you pulled the lever and won every time, the game would get boring fast. But if you win randomly and unpredictably, sometimes a lot, sometimes nothing, sometimes losing everything, your brain becomes addicted to the possibility of the reward. The narcissist operated exactly like that. In the beginning, the love bombing flooded your brain with dopamine, pleasure and reward, and oxytocin, bonding and trust. You felt like you were on cloud nine. Chemically, you were in a state of euphoria, similar to using cocaine. Then, the devaluation began. He withdrew affection. He introduced criticism, silence, and contempt. In that moment, your body was flooded with cortisol, the stress hormone, and adrenaline. You went into survival mode, anxious, alert, desperate to fix the problem and get that good feeling back. When he gave you crumbs of attention, a compliment after days of silence, a night of affection after a week of fighting, your brain received a new hit of dopamine. But now that dopamine wasn't just pleasure, it was relief. It was relief from the pain that he himself caused. This cycle, extreme stress, followed by temporary relief provided by the very person who caused the stress, creates the traumatic bond. Now that the relationship is over, or you are trying to leave, the source of that relief is gone, but your body is still addicted to the cycle. You are suffering from dopamine and oxytocin withdrawal while being drowned in cortisol. That pain in your chest, the shaking hands, the nausea, the inability to eat, or the compulsive urge to binge, the obsession with checking his social media. These are all withdrawal symptoms. Your brain is screaming for a hit of the drug, the narcissist, to relieve the pain that the lack of the drug is causing. Understanding this is crucial to taking the weight of guilt off your shoulders. You aren't weak for missing him. You aren't a masochist for wanting to go back. You are a human being whose reward system has been hijacked. You are going through a detox, and like any detox, it hurts. The body shakes. The mind rationalizes using just one more time. The pain you feel is proof that the biochemical connection is being broken. It is the cold turkey process. Knowing this doesn't make the pain magically disappear, but it changes how you view it. It's not eternal love. It's induced chemical dependency, and dependencies can be cured. Beyond the biological torture, you face existential torture. The pain of a narcissistic relationship is unique because it carries a very specific type of grief, grieving for someone who never existed. In a normal breakup, you mourn the loss of a real person. You miss real qualities and lament real flaws that made the relationship unworkable. There is a coherence to the story. With a narcissist, you are dealing with cognitive dissonance. Your mind is trying to reconcile two opposing realities that cannot coexist. On one side, there is the persona, the charming, attentive man, the soulmate he projected, in the beginning, to mirror you. On the other side, there is the shadow, the cold, calculating, manipulative, and cruel being he revealed himself to be at the end. The pain comes from your brain's desperate attempt to merge these two people. You find yourself thinking, he was so wonderful. What happened? What did I do wrong for him to change so much? The brutal truth, and the source of your pain, is that he never changed. He just took off the mask. The person you are crying for, the one who promised you a future, who made you feel special, he was a mirage. He was a character custom built to extract supply from you. This hurts more than death, because in death, the person is gone, but the memory of the love is real. Here, the person is alive, but the love you believed you lived was a fraud. You are mourning a fantasy. This makes you question your own sanity and judgment. How could I have been so blind? How did I fall for this? This self-blame is a second layer of pain that you add on top of the first. You feel foolish, naive, but understand. The manipulation was designed to bypass your radar. The narcissist studies your vulnerabilities and desires to create exactly the character you needed to find. Crying for that character is natural. It's like discovering the protagonist of your favorite movie was the villain all along. The entire plot has to be rewritten in your head. The pain, then, is the process of accepting that the good won't come back, because the good was the bait. You didn't lose your soulmate. You lost a parasite that was disguised as a soulmate. But until your heart accepts what your brain is already starting to suspect, the pain of dissonance will tear you up inside. It is the grief of the death of hope. We now come to the deepest and most devastating layer of this pain, the loss of yourself. A narcissistic relationship isn't just about what he did to you, it's about what he took from you. During the relationship, the narcissist systematically eroded your identity. He criticized what you liked, alienated you from your friends, made you doubt your memory, your feelings, and your perception of reality. You stopped existing as an autonomous individual and started existing as an extension of him, an accessory whose only function was to serve him and regulate him emotionally. You molded your personality to avoid conflict. You walked on eggshells for so long that you forgot how to walk normally. You silenced your voice so as not to trigger his rage. Now that it's over, the pain you feel is the echo of a void. You look inside, and you don't know who you are anymore. What do you like to eat? What music do you like to listen to? What are your dreams that don't involve pleasing him? Often the answer is a terrifying silence. This void is terrifying. It is an existential crisis. You feel hollow, and that is why post-narcissistic loneliness is so heavy. It isn't just the lack of him. It's the lack of you. He occupied so much space in your mind, trying to figure him out, please him, defend yourself against him, that when he leaves, a massive hole remains. The narcissist acts like a virus that rewrites the host cell's genetic code to produce more viruses. He rewrote your thoughts to focus only on him. Your current pain is the operating system trying to reboot without the malicious code, but without finding the original files of who you were. You feel like you've lost your joy, your innocence, your ability to trust. You feel damaged. This sense of permanent damage is one of the sharpest pains. Will I ever be able to love again? Will I ever be happy again? This pain of fragmented identity is what often makes the victim go back, because being his unhappy extension feels less scary than being nothing on your own. But that is the final deception. That void isn't nothing. It is a clean space. It is leveled ground, where, for the first time in a long time, you can build something that is truly yours. You've made it this far, and now you understand that your pain has a name, a last name, and a neurological address. You understand it's a mix of chemical withdrawal, grieving an illusion, and an identity crisis. But what do you do with it? First, you stop fighting the pain. Stop trying to be okay to prove something to him or the world. Pain demands to be felt in order to be released. When the urge to cry comes, cry. When the rage comes, scream into a pillow. Don't judge the feeling. Understand that every wave of pain is your body expelling the poison. It is the fever indicating that your immune system is fighting the infection. The pain isn't a sign that you need him. It's a sign that you are healing from him. No contact isn't a strategy to get him back. It is the necessary hospitalization for your detox. Every day without seeing, hearing, or knowing about him is a day your dopamine receptors recalibrate. The fog will lift. The cognitive dissonance will lose its power as the reality of the facts overrides the fantasy of the memories. And about the void is your greatest opportunity. You aren't going to go back to being who you were before, and that's a good thing. That innocent person didn't know how to defend herself. The woman who will emerge from this pain will be wiser, stronger, with non-negotiable boundaries. Your scars are not marks of shame. They are your armor. You will rediscover yourself. You will discover that you like new things. You will find a strength you didn't know you had. The pain of a narcissistic relationship is transformative. It burns away everything that was false, everything that was dependent, and leaves only what is real. Don't rush. Healing isn't linear. There will be bad days, but they will pass. And one day, you will wake up, take a deep breath, and the weight on your chest won't be there anymore. The monster will have become just a distant memory, with no emotional power over you. And on that day, you will know that you won. The first step now is to accept that the pain is valid, but temporary. Breathe. You are in control now, and the rebuilding process starts today. Feel free to leave your story, your venting, or even a suggestion for the next video's topic in the comments below. Check out the link in the description to learn about my ebook and the benefits of being a member of this channel. Click the suggested video on the screen to stay with me, and remember, you are light. Never forget to shine.